Welcome back to the 5-Minute Teaching Tips. I'm so excited to talk about how to get your students to write at a beginner level. It is important to develop writing skills at a very young age because it will help teach our students to express themselves clearly and effectively. It allows them to convey their thoughts, ideas, and emotions in a structured way as if they were speaking. Now, this is important for communication in the 21st century. Writing is not only formal but informal, like the usage of text messages, a very important form of communicating in our real world today. Writing encourages critical thinking skills and creativity. Students have to organize their thoughts and think critically about the content they are going to write about. And this fosters imagination and being able to express oneself. A1 can be defined as a beginner level, where the student has limited language skills. So writing has to start with very basic tasks and eventually move on to more comprehensive tasks. We begin with simple tasks like filling in a form where students are required to use only one word to complete the task. In order for the student to understand this simple task, it is important that we contextualize the text for them. This can be done, for example, through a listening-speaking dialogue. Writing is a cognitive process that involves encoding information. So, when students write about themselves, the chances of them remembering are so much greater. This will enable them to retain information and recall language concepts and vocabulary. It is important that we start with the very basics to ensure students have a good understanding, such as the alphabet, basic vocabulary, simple sentence structures. In order for us to get our students ready for writing, we have to create a positive writing environment. What I mean by this is that we have to provide writing activities that are familiar to their everyday lives. For example, a blog about their favorite things. It is also important that we provide them with a model of what would they expect them to write. And this provides a security blanket for them. It is also necessary to give them the tips to make their writing more interesting. Now, this will foster creativity and imagination. And foremost, that the writing is very guided, since they are still at a beginner level. At the same time, it provides them with the confidence they need to start writing rather than asking them to write something with no guidance, and in the end, the student gets stuck or comes to a blank. Ostud to uma branca. In order for them to write, it is also important that we expose them to a good range of vocabulary. So it is crucial that we present the targeted vocabulary and make sure it is contextualized for their comprehension to take place. This can be done through a variety of carefully scaffolded exercises. Basic sentence patterns has to be taught so that students can practice constructing simple sentences. In order for them to understand how the sentence comes together in context, there has to be a skill activation, where the student can see the construction of a simple sentence and how it can be used in a realistic situation to communicate. There has to be a real-life application to the writing task for it to make sense to the student. As a teacher, we have to foster the tasks that they can use in their daily life. For example, accepting or refusing an invitation via an email. Here the student sees how important it is to write. They are able to visualize the skills they need to communicate. Using platforms also provides them the tools to learn how to write, and better yet, it provides them the setting to express themselves in a digital format, being it a writing task assigned by the teacher or using the chat box to communicate to other students in the class. Writing plays a very important role. It provides the student with fundamental knowledge, guided practice, fosters vocabulary building, sentence structuring, creativity, and real-life application, and not to mention digital integration. And that is a wrap for today, and I'm looking forward to seeing you on the next episode of 5-Minute Teaching Tips.